All right, so we're going to make our timelines in PowerPoint. It's represented by this orange P. You want to double click it and open it up. You want to go to slide layouts, which is right here, and you click on slide layouts. And then we want to choose this slide layout, the one that I'm circling right here, right? It has one title box at the top of the page, and this is where you are going to enter your title. Once you've done that, just click your mouse and you'll have a blank page again, and you want to go up to insert and insert a smart art graphic. The smart art graphic is a process, so we need to click on process, and then it's going to give you the images for process, and we want this one. This is a basic timeline image, and we click it on and they drop it right into our document. We want to make this bigger. We want it to fit from one end all the way to the other end of our paper, so we have all the room we want to work with. So you got to go to the corners. If you see this kind of 4 arrow, it will only move your document. It's not going to make it bigger, right? The 4 arrows moves things okay? But if you kind of move there we go. If you move your cursor around, you'll see it create this sort of just 1 arrow instead of 4, or I guess 2, but like this image. That will then expand your document. So 4 isn't going to help you because it's just going to move it, but the 2 arrows will. You can make things bigger or smaller this way. We're also going to make the arrow smaller. If you click on the arrow on the gray part, just find this gray part here and click it on, you'll see it gets a little highlighted box around it because now it knows you want to do something with it. You either want to move it or make it bigger or smaller. We're going to make it smaller. This box right here will, if you pull it down, it's going to start making it bigger. But if you pull it up, it's going to collapse it and make it very small. So pull it up to kind of the middle so that your cursor is kind of the middle of the blue ball. And then you have this. I'm going to click over here. So now you have just a timeline with 3 events. So click back on your box, go here, because this is your text box, and this is where you're going to do all your typing. Here you will type in your first event. We'll say it's the Battle of New Orleans, and then maybe you want to say this is a social event because it created nationalism, or it fueled nationalism. I don't know, whatever you want to say here. Okay, so you fill in all of your text. So this only has 3 events right now, but if you just hit return, you'll just keep adding events, right? You want to have 6. And once you get them all in, right, so you've got everything in, these are all filled up, you want to highlight all your text, go up to Format, hit Font, and make sure you're at about 12. 12 is a good size font. Okay? Anytime you have, so here's your 6 boxes. Anytime you want to make any of these boxes bigger or smaller, you can just by doing what we did to the arrow. You get in the corner, get this little arrow going, and you can go bigger or smaller. See how that's working? Okay. So the next thing we need to do, what did I just do? Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add images. And you do that by going on to your internet browser and search the nullification crisis. Okay, popped right up because I've been doing this, and click on the images tab here, and then this is going to give you a lot of options for images that you can use. All of these are images that relate to the nullification crisis. So maybe I choose this one, and I drag it over here and I drop it onto my screen, and there it is. I probably want to make this smaller because this is going to be really big and take up too much of my document. So I just grab the corners and I shrink it, right? Just grab and shrink. Okay? So there we go. And then I would just want to make sure that I talk here about the nullification crisis. Make sure you put your images next to the timeline where they appear. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know, and I will come around. Raise your hand if you have questions. Okay, thanks.